Welcome back to another episode of Market Watch. This time we're going to do some play boxes and play cases. Or do some, I'm not going to go to an extent of play boxes, but we're going to go through some of the things that I'm kind of like keeping an eye out on, things that might be or not in distribution, and just where my thoughts are. So let's go ahead and start it off with good old Karlov Manor. If you guys were here during the bear market, you guys know that this was not well received, and it was like basically near the bottom of the bear market, a little bit after it released. I mean, it cratered along with the booster, the collector boxes. They were, I forgot it, but it was like 100, 200, something ridiculous, something. I think it was 100 or so, the collectors. So as you see here in the 1 year chart, it is up 11%. And it's good to keep an eye out on certain sets that have really poor sentiment. That way you kind of have a grip of where the market's heading. We are in the beginning stage of a bull market in the Magic the Gathering. I would say maybe it's some people would say it started with Final Fantasy. Possibly. But we only saw Final Fantasy jump. Now we're seeing Vintage jump and some ultra modern boxes jump as well, right? So I think it's good to keep an eye on sets that were not well received and see what they're doing overall. So this is why I kind of start off with sets like this, and then we'll jump into Outlaws and Aether Drift. So here's the play box. It's going for 130. Try to make sure it wasn't a set because I know they changed somewhere around here from set to play. $130.59 is the market price. And this is the case. So if we do, as you see, the case here versus the market price 743 is a big difference. So let's, I won't be able to see this. So currently the market price, well, the current available price we want divided by. So it's $144.63, say 60 cents per box in this case. So a bit more premium, case premium compared to the dumping. Outlaws of Thunder Junction. This is another set that came around that same time frame. I want to say it was after Karlov Manor, and it wasn't well received. It was just different, kind of like a Western style. Not my personal cup of tea, at least in terms of the theme. But as you see, even with the crappy boxes or not well received sets, it could eventually do better than you expect. You see here, in 1 year, it did much better than Karlov Manor, up almost 44%, which is incredible. I remember the collector boxes were this price or so, to something like low 200s. To see the play boxes reach around that, pretty incredible. And these were just in distribution not too long ago. I would say they were in the distribution probably like 4 to 6 months ago. So for them to go, which is distro price around 100 each for the in universes versus Universe Beyond is typically a lot more. So to go from 100 to 180 is, look at the case here. Basically, the one available here is $1,270. Market price is drastically different. So as you see, it's just there's only one left. Excuse me. And as you see, there's only one here left. So I'm sure there's still some out there in the wild. It's just a matter of people actually listing or knowing. They probably don't even realize there's only one left here. So not that many. I noticed in Magic the Gathering, there's not many cases that sell often compared to Pokemon. There's a thing called case premium for Pokemon, and people love buying cases, especially compared to Magic. Or Magic, usually it's player based. So they're only going to buy 1 or 2 boxes compared to a whole case, which is 6. So as you see here, a lot more volume here compared to the. So you see, there's a lot more blues for the single boxes. See that? Compared to here, where it just jumps every so often. little ones and twosies. Very low volume, but hold on. Ether Drift, as you see here in the 1 year chart, up 20% essentially. Market price 108.21, kind of matching this, actually slightly less. Not a crazy discount, but Ether Drift. It could be one of those where it's like I lost on the junction where it just surprises us. So I don't have any of this. I do have some of the commander decks. I believe more in the commander decks since people tend to play commander decks more than standard. So not to say that there's bad play boxes, because as we see, and we look at Bloomborough has always been well received by players. I think it's gonna be a great long-term play. The play boxes and the commanders have both. I don't have much of Bloomborough play. Have some commander decks. If you look here, market price is 182. Current one available is 186 essentially. And so the Bloomborough case they're going right now, the market price right now for Bloomborough case is $893.81. Current one available, at least the cheapest one available, is 1,000. Let's just say 1,020. I think that's actually. Let me check really. Yeah, it actually has a no premium whatsoever on this case versus the loose play boxes. So if you were to buy this, not including the tax, it would be 170 or so versus the loose boxes, which is going for $186 and market price 182. So you're saving about $12 per loose box. And then Final Fantasy. If you guys know, this channel loves Final Fantasy. Personally, I love Final Fantasy as an IP. I know for players, they love Final Fantasy. Like, it's such a confidence hold for me because of those two things. Fans, new players came to Magic the Gathering because they love Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy players, Magic the Gathering players love Final Fantasy because it's actually a really good set. This is why I recommend Final Fantasy, and I think, in my humble opinion, it will outbeat Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. I believe Final Fantasy collector booster boxes are outpacing the same time Lord of the Rings has been out compared to Final Fantasy collector's been out. To be fair, Lord of the Rings came out during a really rough time in the overall TCG market. So it took a longer time to appreciate because of that reason. It's kind of like when Pokemon Crown Zenith came out. It came out during a really rough time in the TCG market, but once it rotated out and had time to be ripped, and people started noticing, like, wait, Crown Zenith is really good. Why are we not? It saw appreciation really fast, and then compared to like Ascended Heroes, how it's out during a bull market, and it appreciated way faster than Crown Zenith. This is the exact same comparison. If you guys know both, then you know what I'm talking about. The play cases are going for less than what the actual loose boxes are. As you see here, it's just been the play box has been skyrocketing, especially compared to a 6-month chart, because this right here was the reprint. It went down. Look, 121 was the low, so they were selling it below wholesale cost. If you could get anything really in wholesale cost, either during the bear market or bull market, or whatever market, kangaroo market, opossum market, tiger market, any market, it's you're remember that whenever something goes down and you believe in that product or in that stock, the lower the price, the less risk you have, right? That's a great lesson that I learned back in the stock market days, right? I still in the stock market, but during the 2021 stock market crashes, remembering the lower the cost of a, let's say, Tesla or Google, Meta at the time. I remember Meta, the stock was dropping. I remember buying it at 300 thinking it was a great deal, and it dropped all the way down to 80 something dollars, $90, something around there, and I'm like, I believe in the fundamentals, but I'm gonna just keep buying and buying and buying. It was a great decision because Meta right now is in the 600s, I want to say. I forgot. I haven't looked at it recently, but yeah, something to consider that whenever you see a great opportunity to just jump on it because the opportunity comes and goes, as you see here. Anyways, this will eventually pop up because the if you see here, look at the volume here and the price rise, 1 month chart. Let's see. So right now, if we look at the cheapest one available, let's just say 128, 128, let's just say 1300. Right now, if you were to buy this case right now before taxes, it'll be $216.67, which is cheaper than this. This is a good play. If you don't have any Final Fantasy, this is not a financial advice whatsoever, but you know, I don't know when they're gonna reprint this. I don't have a crystal ball. The only thing I've heard is that in Q4 there's a possibility to print. So it may not be a great play right now. Maybe buy a loose box or two if you have the money. Be responsible. You will lose money, so don't follow what I say. Actually, think about it. And the last thing we're gonna do is oh yeah, but oh wait, by the way, Bloomborough is not in distribution. Final Fantasy Play not in distribution. Modern Horizons 3, there's very little bit left. I think Mag Exchange has some, but limited to like if you want a case, it's about $1,600, which is essentially market. Not excuse me, not market price, but what's available right here. This is basically what distribution is selling it to us for. And will they reprint Modern Horizons? I don't know, man. I don't know. But you know what made me buy this? Obviously, it's well received. I just like the box art. I think it's cool. That's such a Pokebro thing to say. Um, so what do I think overall of this? I think even the bad plays, the bad play boxes, will eventually do well. Could your money be put to use better? Can your money be put somewhere else for better gains? Yeah, of course. Buy the things you have confidence in and hold, and outpatient, whatever. Everyone else, well, this is Odyssey. I thank you a lot for spending time with me today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there's any feedback, I would like for you to let me know in the comments below. Hopefully, I slowed things down, and like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Anyways.